guys, I have my elaborate setup. We're gonna talk about 2021 and 2022 and what it's gonna look like. Remember, everything that we come up with can change based on the needs of the students or based on what life throws at us. But it's good to be back, and it's good to plan for the future and to be excited about what's happening. I brought my friend. We got this new game called Extreme Throw Burrito. Looks absolutely ridiculous, but my whole video setup is so lame. I was like, hey, let's put a giant burrito in here just to make it fun. Real quick for all of you, I'm so glad you're part of our team. I want you to understand something very simple. Everything you do is incredibly valuable. You're more than just people who can help me clean up or check kids in. You're someone who makes a connection at the door. You're somebody who disciples and ministers through small groups, and you're a confidant that teens can go to and talk to about the things that are in their lives so you can pray for them and disciple them through it. Now, I still remember my small group leader from when I was a senior in high school. I was in a new church, a new school, 1,000 miles away from where I used to live, and it was a big deal. And my small group leader at the time, his name was Adam Miller. Unbelievable dude. He used to have waffles with us on Friday mornings. And I remember he would go to our games. I could connect with him if I had any issues or any questions. Still remember my small group leader to this day. As a matter of fact, Patty and I took over that small group when we graduated high school into college, and we still talk to those small group kids today. So they may not have been our youth group kids, but we still remember them to this day, and they still remember us and talk to us and call us and connect with us. So your impact is so far reaching. Never ever question how much impact you have on students' lives. So this year we are adding 6th grade to our mix again. Now, I know some of you are scared because 6th grade small groups are a little bit chaotic and they can be a little bit difficult, but it's a great challenge to take on, and I'm so excited to see their faces in here and be able to relate Jesus to them. So on August the 4th, on that Wednesday night, we are welcoming in the new 7th grade class and the new 6th grade class. This means that the grads that we recently celebrated over this summer will be moving on after August 4th, and they'll move up to the college group, which we're currently developing. Now, this does mean that we're adding another small group, but that's okay, because the goal is for 6th and 7th grade that we plug in leaders into the 6th and 7th grade small group. When we get new leaders, they'll have that opportunity. Maybe even start to get some student leaders that we develop and put into the 6th grade small group alongside our adult leaders. I'll break down who's taking what small groups and how that's gonna work, but let me show you how the schedule is gonna work. So we're gonna start with week 1, where everyone is gonna be together here in the gym. We're gonna go through worship and games and all that excitement. And then after, we're gonna do small groups after the altar call. The goal of this is to make an altar call connection and then give them someone that can hold them accountable for the decisions they make, or to process them through some of the decisions they're trying to think about in their heads. Small groups are gonna be something you'll see on week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, these may not all be 25, 30, 40 minutes, but each small group connection is important. And I want you guys to know that your value in these small groups is unbelievably important. And I want these small groups to happen every single week to make the connections with these kids. Now, you may say to yourself, hey, look, like I can't be here every week, and that's okay. We've got multiple leaders in each group. And if there's a week where you can't be here, Patty and I are more than happy to step in, and we're gonna raise up student leaders that can plug into those groups on nights when leaders are busy. Because hey, look, we all got lives, we got a lot of stuff going on, and I totally understand and can sympathize with that. Week 2, we will then have an all small group week. This is like our normal small group weeks. We'll have worship together, we'll play some games, and then we'll dismiss into small groups. We're gonna work on the noise level of small groups. So we'll have the leader room, the guest lounge, we've got the upstairs sanctuary in the gym, so we can split groups up really, really well and put them all in a quieter space so you guys can communicate without battling echo and noise damage. So we're working on that, making that happen. The new thing that we're adding, if you look here, is called Second Sunday Circles. This doesn't necessarily mean you need to have another day where you're up and ready to go. So Second Sunday Circles will worship and go through the announcements in the main sanctuary, and then I'll get up and give a spiel talking about what's going on in TF Youth, and then we're gonna ask every teenager in the room to head on out the back door and to come over to the gym with me and Patty in. If you want to be a part of this, we'd love for you to be a part of that. But I know that Sunday is a big day for you to be able to worship with your families. And so we don't expect you to have to be here for this. But let us know if you're interested in it and you want to be a part of it. We'll do a small group breakdown and we'll talk and process through that week or that month's overall sermon theme or whatever it may be. And so they'll have another opportunity. It'll be the 5th opportunity they have throughout the month to have small group time. And the benefit is any student that is new or has never attended youth, we're gonna find them, we're gonna pull them out and bring them with us so they can be a part of it. We'll have coffee, donuts, orange juice, all the good stuff for Second Sunday Circles. Your small groups will then be that Wednesday night as well. So 2 opportunities to connect with small groups. Week 3 is where we're kind of catering and creating something specifically for 6th and 7th grade. As you know, middle schoolers and high schoolers kind of think differently, they talk differently, they hear differently, and they process differently. So we will have a split teaching, 2 different teachings. 6th and 7th graders will go upstairs in the youth sanctuary upstairs, and then the 8th through 12th graders will stay in the gym. Now, sometimes I will preach that 8th through 12th grade service, and sometimes I'll preach the 6th through 7th grade service. My wife might preach one of the 2 sometimes, but the idea is to give leaders an opportunity to teach one of these 2 areas, no matter what the age group is, and give you another opportunity to minister and to share with students depending on the subject. Now, this particular subject will be broken up to where we're teaching the same thing, but in 2 different styles to help communicate it more clearly to 6th and 7th graders. This will be more active, and the 8th through 12th grade will be more teaching based and preaching based. Sorry, the burrito is rebelling against me. But we'll worship together, we'll play games together, and then we'll split up and do altar calls separately. We'll see how this goes. We may adjust this and work with this as we go, but hopefully this works out great and gives them an opportunity to give something that works for them. Week number 4 is what we're gonna keep dubbing as Hype Night. This does not mean that I'm trying to create hype. What it means is it's an exciting night to bring your friend. Everyone's gonna be together. A lot of times we're gonna focus on salvation, but we will also deal with other subjects as well. But we're gonna worship together, play games together, and all be together for the message. The goal is to make 6th and 7th graders feel a part of the group. So we're providing only one opportunity where we separate them based on their age range to try to work deeply on whatever topic that week is on. In the Hype Night on week 4, we will still do an altar call, but after the altar call, we will do small groups. Why are we doing small groups on a Hype Night? Here's the reason why. Students will come here, they'll have a great night, they sit in rows, they respond in an altar call, they get prayed for, and then they miss that connection point. The small groups provide the connection point we need for students to be able to see that when I come here, not only am I gonna have an amazing experience, but I'm gonna be able to connect with friends that are my age, and I'm gonna connect with a leader who will be close to me and talk to me and message me. So that's gonna happen on week 4. So this is the layout, week 1 through 4. If there is ever a week 5, we will deal with week 5 as it comes. A lot of times we'll probably do team wars, color wars, things like that on week 5. So that way we can be consistent with the games and the opportunity to do that. So I'm excited for this. You guys are gonna have a lot of opportunities to connect with your small groups. In the next video, we'll talk about the small group breakdown and how we want that to look. All right, let's talk small groups. So we're gonna be calling these small groups circles. There's a reason why, and of course, adding Second Sunday Circles is part of it. The idea of calling it circles is to let them know, hey, we're getting out of this row setup, you're getting in a circle, you're gonna face each other, interact with one another, and work together to grow in Christ. There are 3 things I want you to know about circles. Before you start reading all the names, like hold on a minute. In circles, I want you to make a connection to provide mentorship and prayer to a student. What does connection mean? Connection is simple. It's finding a student at the door when they get there. Have you ever thought how cool it would be if you walked into church on Sunday morning and you had someone chasing you down just to say hey to you? Think about a kid walking in on Wednesday night, and before they even get to the door, they've got one of the leaders out there just waving at them like, hey, it's so good to see you, glad you made it. How cool is that your small group knows that, hey, guess what? My circle leader knows me. And they're looking for me, and they love me, and they're trying to make sure that I'm doing good. Connections can be done there. They can be done through phone calls, text messages, whatever it may be. Highly encourage, and I'm actually require it, that guys message guys, girls message girls. So as a male leader, find those guys in your group, send them messages, get their phone numbers so you can connect with them. Female leaders, find those girls and connect with them. Now, if you're in a group, you can see some of these will not have a guy in them. We're gonna work on creating that opportunity for a guy to be in that group. And so over time, I'll get somebody in your group. But in the meantime, find somebody for 11th grade, maybe find Josh, or maybe go down and grab Chad and say, hey, can you give a couple of these guys a shout? Or come find me and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to reach out to every single guy in your group for those of you who don't have a guy leader in your group. Now, the groups are breakdown like this. You can see that 6th grade is Lorelei and Heather Hall. 7th grade is Max and Jalen McGinnis. 8th grade is Colby and Tracy Rhodes. 9th grade is Travis and Yanni Sutherland. 10th grade, Chad and Jamie Moore. 11th grade, Michelle Fernandez. And 12th grade, Josh and Megan Morgan. Now, each group is broken up this way. Either you're following your group or I put you somewhere where I think you can really connect with the students of that age group. So before you freak out about the group you're in, just trust me in this and believe that I spent time praying and used discernment in where I placed you. The second part of the circles is mentorship. And the reason you're in that group is because you have the opportunity to help students. Now, mentorship does not mean that you have to constantly be around them and showing them how to do everything under the sun. But mentorship means if you're a small group leader, you see a student go to the altar call. If that's your student, you're gonna walk to that altar call and pray for them even before I request it of any leader in the room. If you see a student that's struggling and needs help, you're gonna go there and you're gonna sit with them, say, hey, how are you doing? What can I do for you? It's just simply being there. That's the most important part. The last part of this is prayer. Please do me a favor. I'm gonna ask that you either grab a notebook, a paper notebook, or use the notes app on your phone. And when a kid says, can you pray for my family? Or can you pray for that? We pull out our phone, we put it in our notes app, or we pull out our paper notebook and we write it down. Students want to know that you remember what they talked to you about. They want to know that you really are praying weekly for the needs that they have. And when they see that, they make a real connection. Okay, so here's the big difference this year. 6th and 7th grade are promoting up to youth. You may hear this a lot. We say promo Sunday. Basically, that means you're going from 5th grade into 6th grade. You're going from 6th grade into 7th grade. Both of which now mean you're moving up into the youth group. Starting next year, it will only be 6th grade that promos because 7th grade will already be a part of the youth group. Here's how this is gonna look. What you notice is that a lot of times 6th graders struggle to make that adaptation or 7th graders struggle to adapt. And so what we're trying to do is create a way to where they don't lose everything they're used to, but they start growing up into the process of becoming a full-fledged big church Sunday morning youth sort of deal. So on the TF Kids side, these guys are gonna graduate up, and on Sunday mornings, they're graduating into what we call a kids leadership program. This means that they're serving and volunteering and becoming a student leader in kids church. As you know already, our teenagers are heavily involved in kids church. We've got probably 20 to 30 of them that serve consistently in kids church. Now the 6th graders grow into this leadership program. They'll attend kids church every Sunday morning. It's important for them to do that. They're gonna make that kind of adaptation. So for 1 year, they're gonna be able to go to kids church and Wednesday night service. But in kids church, they are primarily and only there to serve as a leader. So they'll stay on Sunday mornings. We're not making them come into the main sanctuary quite yet. So Sundays will look differently because of that. And with that, we'll allow 6th graders to stay. Now, 7th graders can continue to go to kids church only to serve as a leader. It's a little different than the 6th grade leadership thing. 6th grade, we're still considering them to be able to be in the kids service. 7th grade, they're serving, they're running sound, they're maybe doing cleanup, puppets, whatever it may be in kids church that they need to be a part of. So 6th and 7th grade, a lot of times we'll see them in the kids sanctuary on Sunday morning. This does not mean that they're part of the kids program. They're not. They're simply serving in leadership. Now, on the youth side of it, they will promote up on August 4th. Guys, promo night is the big night. It's not this week, it's the following week. Promo night is huge because this is an opportunity for 6th and 7th graders to find their home for the next, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years in youth ministry. So we are at the doors, we're high-fiving, we're cheering, we're doing everything we can to make 6th and 7th graders feel welcome. At 6 o'clock on promo night, they'll meet upstairs where we'll have snacks and a reception. And then Angie and I will explain to the parents what's happening. and then they'll come downstairs and we'll say hey to everybody. Angie will run the first game, and then she's gonna head over to the kids sanctuary to run kids programs, and then they're with us for the rest of the night. We are allowing parents to stick around for the first week, as we always have. So your job that night is to make every 6th and 7th grader feel like an absolute star in the room. Now, if you're Lorelei or Heather Hall, or you're Max or Jalen McGinnis, you guys are hunting down every 7th grader and every 6th grader to make sure they know, hey, I'm your small group leader and I can't wait for you to be a part. Now, there's a couple additions we're making to that night. Everyone's gonna wear a name tag. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of them. As kids walk in, whether they're in 12th grade or 6th grade, they're putting on a name tag. Every leader is putting on a name tag. Just make sure you write the word leader on your name tag. So that way kids don't feel lost and they can connect and know each other's names. Not only that, we get to know their names a little bit better too. They're gonna have a full involvement in the youth program. 6th and 7th graders are full members of our youth group. They've got their own small groups that they're gonna go into. Once a month, they will have a 1 week where we do the split teaching like I talked about. When I broke down our 4-week teaching breakdown, they'll go upstairs and 8th through 12th grade will be downstairs. And then of course, second Sunday circles, they're not going to be scheduled to serve in any capacity on the church on the second Sunday of every month. They'll come with us in second Sunday circles after worship ends in the main sanctuary. 6th and 7th graders are both apart now. So here's the thing, I know they can be tough. I know they're a lot of work, but I gotta tell you guys, if we can get them young and get them connected and get them involved and get them excited about what God's doing at TF Youth, we're looking at some kids that are gonna be in our youth group, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. That's 7 grades that we have a chance to minister and impact kids' lives. So get excited about that, I'm pumped. Can't wait to see the 6th and 7th graders, August 4th, promo night. Hey look, this might sound a little cheesy, but the last thing I just wanted to share with you is thank you. Me and the Burrito Man here just want to say thank you. Here's the thing, you can't do ministry by yourself. You just can't. You may be able to preach a few good sermons, you may be able to lead songs pretty well, you can put on a couple good nights, but eventually you learn that God has created the church to be a unit that works together to reach the community. I'm grateful for you. I'm so thankful. And guys, here's to you and everything you've done to impact kids' lives, everything you're about to do to impact 6th grade through 12th grade. I am so grateful that I get to serve with you in reaching kids for Jesus. So this year's gonna be great. 2021, 2022, full of promise, full of opportunity. Let's reach kids for Jesus and let's blow this place out with the Holy Spirit. And thank you for being a part of what God's doing.